Hey, Craig.
Let's get into some coffee talk.
Hey, I love it. I love doing some coffee talk.
Well, talk about what?
Dogs, daughters, whatever. It's coffee talk.
Coffee talk.
It's coffee talk. Oh, Mr. Jason, did you just slurp down a cup of Joe?
That was a good cup of coffee.
I'm jazzed.
Oh, are you?
I'm not your jazz. I see him in the
Yes,
background there.
Right there.
It's a new year, and a lot of people want to lose weight. They got all these New Year's resolutions,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
You hear it all the time. You got one?
Stay consistent.
Stay consistent. So we were talking a little bit about habits. And a lot of time we create these giant habits for us, like, oh, I got to lose weight. And and then it's like, okay, so I'm going to go to the gym for an hour. Dude, you haven't been to the gym in 6 months or maybe 6 years, and you're just going to go for an hour. It's like crazy.
Right.
It's like the amount of, it's either ding dongs and ho-hos or whatever, or it's I'm going to work out for a long period of time, right?
Huh? It just cut out. Yeah, no, we're good.
Okay. So it's either just we're eating crap or we're going to work out for a ton of time. Why?
10 hours a
That's
day.
such a big gap. Like, so I was reading this book and they're talking about you got to two things. One is create a habit. To create a habit, just go to the gym, walk in the gym every day, like start there. And if you're there every day, that was one of the things. So that's from a book called Atomic Habits. That was that he was giving. Yeah. Just walk in the gym and then eventually, be there for 10 minutes, be there for 15 or whatever. Eventually you're going to want to, when you have that habit, you're going to want to work out if you're there anyways.
I think, didn't he say you start by just doing your route to work, drive by the gym?
Right.
So you're
he starts
yourself
that
to drive that direction, right?
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, now stop and go in. Like you make it so baby step, and then you're doing it.
Yep. And so that's the thing, is that we got to, going into this next year, and if you really want something to stick with our habits, we got to make realistic habits and just small habits that will eventually add up and create the result you want. And then another little nugget that somebody else said recently was you create a micro habit, something that is super simple that supports the big habit. So if it's pack your gym bag the night before, you know what I mean? Or put on your gym clothes the night before.
Or Jamie Alderon,
Like
put on your swimsuit so you can jump in 8 degrees.
But do something that's super easy that supports that habit, so that when you're like, I just don't feel like it, you're like, but I already kind of set this up and you know what I mean? So it really helps you create that.
That's what I love about Orange Theory is once you sign up for the class for the next day, if you don't cancel it within 8 hours, they charge you $12. And it's $12, big deal. But you're thinking, well, I already pay $125 to have this membership. Now I'm going to pay $12 every time. It's like you already feel like a loser if you cancel, right? And then on top of it, you're getting whacked $12. So yeah, I don't pay that $12. I'm just like, well, I'm got to go because I'm not paying $12.
Right. That's awesome. I like that one. But that's it, man. I mean, it's just we got to create those good habits. And then I would say the third thing to that is if the habits that we are doing, if the people that we want to be like have different habits than we have now, our habits are what got us here, right? So if we're doing the same habits that we always do and we expect to be where Joe Schmo is, but Joe Schmo has a giant agency and he's crushing it. Well, do the habits that he has. Don't do the habits that you have. Your habits got you where you are today.
Right.
Like follow those habits.
You've plateaued.
Yeah. Follow Jay Atkins.
I was going to say, Jumping Jay.
Habits. Yeah.
right? And then Jay's trying to get to the Grant Cardone level, and then Grant's trying to get to the Tony Robbins level. Oops. And so
Yeah. So I mean, we everything we do is based off of little habits.
So let's dive a little bit deeper. What are some little habits that an agency owner could work on?
Number one for the team, I would say, is have a meeting daily.
At least one.
Yeah.
And if not two. It got kind of tough to have our afternoon one now. Like we're just doing our morning, and I'm going to try to get back to the doing both. But it doesn't have to be long, right?
Nope.
Like that's the thing is everybody meeting in and of itself is the shittiest word ever. Like nobody wants to go to it's a meeting, right? Like I can't handle 5 minutes past, the start of the meeting. I'm done.
Yep.
So make it quick, 5-10 minutes. Riff on a talk. Have your own coffee talk.
Yep.
Have a coffee talk with your staff. Yeah. Work on one of the steps of whatever your sales process is. Work on overcoming objections, role play, listen to a call. There's a multitude of things you can do, or rip something off the internet about motivation and just talk about it. It doesn't matter. Anything, something to engage the staff and get them pumped.
I would say another big one is don't handle everything as it comes at you. It's crazy. The insurance industry, it's just, there's so much to do, right? There's so much just busy work.
Last in, first out. Everybody's doing last in, first out.
Last in, first out.
I just got an email. I just got a text. I just got a messenger. I just got a TikTok. Probably not a TikTok, but it's just constantly coming at you.
Yeah.
Like turn that shit off. I turn off my notifications during the day.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'm going to go crazy because I'm very squirrel. I'm like, look, somebody sent me a message on Instagram. It's top priority, right?
Yep.
No, it's who cares? Look at that tomorrow. Look at that tonight, and if you don't get to it, then do it tomorrow.
Exactly.
Nobody died while I was gone for 2 weeks, and I took a long time to get back to people.
I think this is that there are some very important things to do, whether it's the macro of where you want your agency to be, or if it's, the person that just lost someone or something huge that we're covering, you know what I mean? So you got to make a priority list, make sure that you're handling the most important stuff first. And so at the end of the day, if you don't get to everything, that it's not the important stuff that you didn't get to.
Right. That's why, look at this.
Ooh. What you got there, Mr. Craig?
Look what I got.
The Mastery Journal.
It's John Lee Dumas Mastery Journal.
Oh.
And so it's a 100-day thing, which I read all the stuff, but they you do this little recaps, this little sample thing, but it's a paper journal. I know it's weird, but I also think, and something that he said, John Lee Dumas, who we're going to have on the show. He said
he's
that
one of my favorite podcasters.
He's one of my favorites. But it's just having the establishing routines and establishing this micro consistency, or not micro, just consistency, and then you do your morning routine, and he breaks your day up into 4 sessions that you're going to spend important activities on, and you will not be interrupted during that time. So and then you may not finish the thing you're working on. So like I want to write a book, right? It's something I'm working on, and we're going to probably do something together here, but so okay, I block out an hour. I'm not going to finish the freaking book in an hour, right? But I'm going to at least knock out a paragraph, if not a page or 2 pages, depending on how fast my fat fingers can type that day. But I mean, you know, and so boom, that might be a priority, maybe on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays or something, you know, that's what you do, but you can knock it out. You know, when are you going to have your one-on-ones with your team? Do you have one-on-ones? I don't know. I mean, some people probably never meet with their team. I found when I don't meet with my team, at least, I mean, it has to be weekly, right? Where you're just checking in with them. Because if you don't, it starts going over towards, you know, if anybody has followed the agency vault stuff, the left pyramid, right? You start selling on price instead of doing all those things that they all know how to do, but it seems harder, and selling on value, right? And all of the steps that do that. So, I mean, our role as that agency owner is it's so critical that we're working on the business. And that's how we provide the support. They know we're busy. They know that we can't answer the freaking phone for this guy that's mad that his rate went up, you know, so to help them understand what to say, not Jason's too busy.
Right.
Jason is in a meeting, or Jason is, you know,
on a podcast.
Jason is doing the things that drive activity to the agency. That's his job here. He used to do all this stuff, but he doesn't anymore. That's why he hired me. I'm going to take care of this for you. I mean, if somebody understands it from that perspective, it's fine.
Yep.
But you know, our time is worth something, you know, as agency owners, and it's not adding a car.
Right.
A monkey can add a car. In fact, a client can add a car online. Yep. I mean, you know, so there's no, there should never be a place where the agent is doing that unless they truly love it. Like if they love it, then okay, here on the Mastery Journal, you block out session 4 is taking inbound calls. And you do that for that hour, but you don't do it beyond that hour. If you're taking calls all day long, then you're in reactive mode and you're never going to advance your agency. And especially with some companies have different compensation coming. I mean, the same old stuff is not going to work the same old way.
Yep. That's it.
I just went on a rant.
I love it. You're passionate. I heard your passion.
Could you hear my passion?
I could hear it. Over some coffee.
Over some coffee. Well,
that's it.
One other thing. I think we did 2. Did we have 2? Well,
we did 2. We did 2.
One other thing that to be consistent, we said the meetings.
Yes.
And what was the other?
The meetings and the journaling and prioritizing your day and not just handling things that come in.
What else?
So, I would say really getting out. Like sometimes I'll take a walk around the building or something and just step away and just kind of disconnect for a second.
Yeah. I've often talked to you whilst you're doing that.
Yes. I like it. It helps me to kind of, I don't know, reassess stuff. You know,
so that makes me think of another thing. So to that point, a lot of agents are very siloed and don't know a lot of the other agents. We've been blessed that somehow a lot of people like to listen to this. And so we've connected with a lot of agents. But you can't be siloed. You can't be on an island. In order to really grow and learn things, you know, certainly you're going to listen to this podcast and subscribe to it, but you're also going to reach out to other agents. Certainly. I mean, you would be insane to not subscribe to this podcast and get the notifications. And
that's why, and that's why we started it. I mean, honestly, that's why.
So
take everything to the next level. And this has helped us. So if you end up not being able to reach out to other agents or something, just throw this in while you do a little jaunt around the office to get a little exercise, get those steps in, right? And learn from others.
Well, yeah, and we were the little guys at one point, right? And I'm not
still a little
suggesting
guy.
that I'm not suggesting that we're the big guys. We're somewhere in the middle, but there's like the Dave Williams, with the giant 30 million or $25 million book where I remember the first time I called him, I didn't know him. And I was all nervous, but then, he's just a dude, and he's with a booming voice.
Yeah.
But no, super, and everybody that's it. Most folks that are in this business are super relatable and easy to talk to.
Yep.
I mean, every one of them, like I've reached Nick Ayers. I always come up with his name, but he's goofy and he's fun to talk to. You can reach basically anybody is somewhat accessible.
Right.
If you're
don't. And it's the same thing in life with your family and everything else. It's like you cannot be on an island. You just you gotta talk about stuff, get it out there, get good feedback. Yeah. And in our agencies, it's the same.
Yeah. And not be afraid. Just got to
not be afraid. Just do it in 2020. Like Nikkei says.
2020.
Do it.
Yeah, Nikkei. 2020 is the year of the vision. 2020.
Ooh. All right. Well, I think that's
all right, Mr. Jason.
Mr. Craig.
Well, that was another fantastic episode of Coffee Talk.
Coffee Talking. All right, buddy.
Sponsored by you, the listener, who's going to leave a review on iTunes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, for listener, and listening and leaving a review.
Oh, thank you.
Yay.
All right. We'll see you guys next week.
So, Craig, not only are we both agents, but we talked to a ton of agents out there. And I feel like a bunch of agents have been talking about the aggressive growth goals this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But you know what the problem is?
What?
Everyone's running into shifting their focus from service to sales, and they're trying to do this quickly. But where do you find the growth, and how do you do this quickly? They all ask, right?
Ask any agent. It's not an easy task. Huh. Well, right now there's thousands of consumers shopping online for insurance. In fact, Jason, according to a JD Power study, 74% of insurance shoppers start their search online.
Dang.
I know, right? And you need a way to connect with them, but it's tough to do on your own. That's where a trusted partner can really make a difference, connecting you with insurance shoppers in real time and helping drive some serious growth.
Well, EverQuote is the nation's largest online insurance marketplace with millions of consumers visiting their online sites every month. They're able to connect you with people who are actually shopping for insurance, not just submitting their info. Yeah, not just submitting their info to win a free iPad. We all seen that one, right?
Yeah, I've seen it.
And EverQuote's leads are delivered to you within seconds from the time they complete that form.
And one of the best things about EverQuote is that they're nothing like your typical lead vendor. They become a true partner in your business. You get your own dedicated support, recommendations, and insights to help optimize your results.
That's
Plus, right? Plus tons of best practices. And guess what?
What?
A great blog. And guess what else?
Lay it on me, Craig.
A resource center to help you with everything from hiring to dealing with common objections. How awesome is that?
That is awesome. And I don't think anyone should go at it alone with an average lead vendor.
Heck no.
Work with a true business partner that has helped thousands of agencies just like yours, Mr. Craig, grow. And right now, EverQuote has a special limited time offer for all the dudes and dudettes out there. Did you know that?
That's awesome. You know what they need to do? They need to go to the website and they can learn more about the offer and start the conversation about growing their agency now. The link's down below in the show notes. Now let's get back to the show.
Ooh, let's do.
Hey, you've got to check out the Insurance Dudes Inner Circle, coming soon, where you get extended interviews as well as live coffee talks in our private Facebook group. Join the mailing list today at theinsurancedudespodcast.com. Hey, thanks for checking out the Insurance Dudes. Hey, please subscribe. We got some really great stuff coming out.